Well, students, today we are going to discuss another important topic of DED, Indian Constitution and Status of Education. This is your paper 2, topic first, Indian Constitutions and Status of Education. The name of the paper is Contemporary Indian Educations according to the Kurukshetra University syllabus. Right, guys? So under this topic, we will discuss concept and meaning of Indian Constitution. Then we will discuss about meaning of fundamental rights, then list of fundamental rights, features and importance of fundamental rights, and all the important articles which are in our syllabus, article 14, 15, 16, 21A, 28, 29, 30, 51A, 350 and 351. These are very easy articles, and being of a teacher, guys, you should know the meaning of these articles and you should be aware of these articles. So guys, let's start our topic. So first we talk about Indian Constitution. You know, Indian Constitutions, the constitutions of India is the supreme law of India. Constitution, Savidhan, it is the supreme law of India, right? It frames fundamental political principles, procedures, practices, rights, powers, and duties of government. Right, guys? The constitutions of India or Indian Constitution was adopted on the 26th November in the year of 1949, but it came in effect on 26 January 1950. Everybody, you know that. That's why 26 January is celebrated as the Republic Day of India, right? And it was given by the Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, who gave us this constitution, right, guys? We talk about fundamental rights under this heading. Fundamental rights are the basic human rights, right, guys? These are the basic human rights enshrined in the constitutions of India, which guaranteed to all citizens. They are applied without discrimination on the basis of race, religion, gender, etc. Right? And what are these fundamental rights? From Article 12 to 35 of Indian constitutions deal with the fundamental rights. Okay. When you write on the constitutions of India on the Google now, constitutions of India, Indian constitutions book was, you will get the books and you can see all these rights. Article 12 to 35 of Indian constitutions deal with the fundamental rights, right? So we discuss what are these rights. So first, there are 6 fundamental rights of Indian Constitution. Okay, these fundamental rights are human rights. Okay, these are 6 fundamental rights of Indian constitutions. Along with the constitutional article related to them are mentioned. Number 1, right to equality. Right, guys, you should know that. Right to equality, Article 14 to 18. Right to equality, right? Right to freedom, Article 19 to 22 talks about right to freedom. Next, right against exploitation, Article 23 to 24, it talks about right against exploitation. Right to freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28. Cultural and educational rights, Article 29 to 30. And Article 32 talks about the right to constitutional remedies. Guys, these 6 fundamental rights you should be know on your fingertips. Okay. In the coming slides, we will discuss all the rights in in detail, in little bit detail, right? So these are the 6 fundamental rights. Okay. Article 14 to 18, it was right to equality. Number 1 article, number one right to equality, Article 14 to 18. Okay, I have described here. Article 14 talk about equality before law and equal protections of law. Article 15 talks about prohibitions of discriminations on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Means ye hame, this Article 15 saves us, okay, from which means any government is giving the subsidy, employment opportunity. Okay, so without any color, caste, and sex, okay, every person is equal to get the benefit of that job and subsidies given by the government. Article 16 talks about equality of opportunity in the matter of public employment. Article 16 also talks about this, right? Article 17 talks about prohibitions of untouchability, and Article 18 abolitions of titles, military and academic distinctions are however exempted. Okay, we will discuss in the coming slide also in detail also. Okay, this. So from this slide we discuss all the 6 fundamental rights which I have just mentioned to you in detail, right? We discuss one after the other. So under a 6 fundamental right, the first right of equality, Article 14 and 18, it guarantees equal right for everyone, irrespective of religion, gender, caste, race, or place of birth, right? What thing this article ensures? This article ensures equal employment opportunities. Okay, so guys, whosoever is the citizen of the India, he can get the equal employment opportunity irrespective of whether he is a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, any of religion he or she belongs. So it ensures equal employment opportunities in the government and ensures against discriminations by the state in matters of employment on the basis of caste, religion, etc. This right also includes the abolitions of title as well as untouchability. You can see on the image also, right? Equality for all, men and women are equal. All the persons, irrespective of whatever the religion they belong, okay, they can get the equality in the employment, right? Second, right to freedom. Article 19 to 22 talks about right to freedom. Okay, which type of a freedom? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom to practice any profession, right? Matlab being of belong to any of the community, we can practice any of the profession, freedom to reside any part of the country, right? This this thing our constitutions gives us. You have seen now in many of the countries, matlab you don't have the freedom to speech openly. Ana? Some of the countries you have, you know about it. So in India, we have the fundamental right, we have the human right. Article 19 to 22, it saves our right to freedom, right? Freedom of speech, expression, association, practice any profession, reside any part of the country in India, right guys? Third is right against exploitation. Article 23-24, it talks about sometimes now what happens, when child, we force any person, force the child and other persons for begging and others. This article saves, protects them, right? The right implies the prohibitions of a traffic in human being, beggar and other forms of a forced labor. It also implies the prohibitions of children in factories, etc. The constitution prohibits the employment of children under 14 years in hazardous conditions. Means no persons can force the child up to the age of 14 years to work any part in any of the factory and others. Okay, so you can see in the picture also, right? Child is meant to learn, not to earn. Say no to the child labor, yes to education. Okay, it talks about right against exploitations. The fourth is, which is a fundamental right to freedom of religion. Means this article, this right ensures us, saves us, means we can practice any of the religion. Article 25 to 28, there is a equal respect given to all religion, right? It was given by written by the Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar. Okay, this right, equal respect, gives equal respect to all the religion. There is a freedom of a conscience, profession, practice, propagations of religion. The state has no official religion. Every person has the right to freely practice his or her faith. establish and maintain religious and charitable institutions. Nobody can stop you, even you are a minority, right? Or majority, any of, because this right saves us. We can start, we can practice any of the religion, we can start any of charitable institutions, right? Right to freedom of a religion, you can see in the image also, right to profess, right to practice, right to propagate, right guys? Fifth is cultural and educational right. So Article 2930, this right protect the right of religious, cultural and linguistic minorities by facilitating them to preserve their heritage and culture, right? Means this article saves the right of minorities, okay, uh, in relations to their heritage and culture. Educational rights are for ensuring education for everyone without any discrimination, right? And sixth is the right to constitution's remedies, 32 to 35. It was also called the very soul of the constitutions and the very heart of it. It was said by the Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Okay, guys, this is important. Okay, so we discussed this right. Right to constitution's remedies, Article 32 to 35. The constitution's guarantees remedies if citizens' fundamental rights are violated. Okay, if our fundamental rights are violated, then what happens? The government cannot infringe upon or curb anyone's right. When these rights are violated, the aggrieved party can approach to the court. Right, guys? Even the government cannot curb or infringe your right. These are your fundamental rights. You can approach to the court. Court is above the parliament. Citizens can even go directly to the Supreme Court, which can issue writs for enforcing fundamental rights. So these six are the very important rights, fundamental rights. Okay, you should know that being of a teacher. So next we discuss about what are the features and importance of fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are the very important because they are like the backbone of the country. They are essential for safeguarding the people's interest. People can approach the Supreme Court directly in case of violations of fundamental rights. Fundamental right can be amended by the parliament by the constitution's amendment, but only if amendment does not alter the basic structure of the constitution. Even the parliament can interfere, guys, okay, but parliament cannot amend or alter the basic structure of the constitution. You know, Baba, Bhimrao Ambedkar was so intelligent, he was so focused that like he knew that if anything happens, so that's why he has written this. If any parliament does any kind of a interference, but they cannot alter the basic structure of the constitution, right? In India is run by the constitutions of India, not by the faith. If it is run by the faith, know that there should be a lot of conflicts and others. So we have to obey the constitutions of India. Fundamental rights can be suspended during a national emergency, you should know, but the rights guaranteed under Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended at all. Right, guys? So we already discussed all the meaning, importance, and nature and characteristics of the fundamental rights. Next, we discussed about some of the important articles which we should know being of a teacher. So number one, Article 20A, 21A, right to education, right? Right to education, you should know that it talks about the free and compulsory educations to all the children up to the age of 14, right? Only elementary education is fundamental right and not higher or professional educations. Means up to the 14 years now, child is and in the class of a elementary class, up to, you can say up to 7th or 8th, right? So this right ensures the free and compulsory educations to all the children up to the age of 14. Article 21A, right? Article 28, Constitutions of India. Freedom as to attendance and religious instruction. It talks about no religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institutions wholly maintained out of state funds, right? Means it doesn't mean that be any of the state fund, you cannot put any instructions of any particular religion. Okay. Next, we talk about Article 29, protections of interest of minorities. In our India, there is a minorities also. Many persons are minority. When we talk about the Punjab, in Punjab there is a Sikh in majority. But when we talk about the India, in India, Sikhs are in minority, Christians are in the minority. So Article 29, it protects the interest of minorities. Any section of the citizen residing in any of territory of the India, any part thereof, having a distinct language, script, or a culture of its own, shall have the right to conserve the same. Right? So this Article 29, it protects our, interests, minority interests, and anything these minority wants to start and others. So government cannot infringe or, curb that, because this article protects us. Article 30 talks about right of minorities to establish and administer educational institution. If minority can establish any educational institution, so no government can stop in the India, because Article 30 saves us. All minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. Okay, anywhere they can open the educational institutions of minorities. If any of the persons belong to the minorities, they can start educational institutions any part of the India. Okay, list of important articles under, we talk about Article 51A. 51A of Constitutions of India, fundamental duties. It talks about the fundamental duties. What are the fundamental duties? Means we have to obey, these all the fundamental duties, because our Constitutions of India, Article 51A says, what it says, we have to abide by the constitutions and respect its ideal and institution, the national flag and the national anthem. Whenever there is a national anthem, we have to stand, right? We have to give respect to the national flag, right? To cherish, next, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Next, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India, right? Being of a citizen of the India, Article 51A, says us, we have to, in any of the case, we have to maintain the unity, peace, harmony, integrity, right? To promote harmony and the spirit of a common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional or sectional diversities. Right, guys? So this Article 51A says. Okay, next, left two articles is left, 350 and 351. These are the last articles. Article 350 talks about language to be used in representation for redress of grievances. Means any persons, he can write, in his whatever the regional language, he can write in the regional language if any of the grievances comes. So Article 350 protects, declares that every person shall be entitled to submit a representation for the redress of any grievance to any officer or authority of the union or the state in any of the languages used in the union or in the state as the case may be, right? Malab in the regional language or in the, what is the national language, he can write it. Article 350, directive for the development of the Hindi language. So it says that it shall be the duty of the union government, means government, to promote the spread of a Hindi language, to develop it so that it may serve as a medium of expression for all the elements of the composite culture of India. Right? You know that Hindi is the national language, so it is a duty of the union, of the government, to spread this. So guys, these all we discuss about all the articles and fundamental rights of this. I hope you have come to know these all things. Concept and meaning of Indian constitutions, we have done that. What are the fundamental rights? Fundamental, that these are the human rights, 6 fundamental rights, list of fundamental rights. What are the features and importance of fundamental rights? Then we also, in last, we discussed about the some articles which are in our syllabus, article 14, 15, 16, 21A, 28, 29, 30, 51A, 350, and last we discuss about 351 articles, article 351. Right, guys? Thank you so much, guys.